you did some work on my house and I love the timber floor that you did. And after a few women came in with high heels, I'm crying it's a disaster, dented and everything. But this floor is pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
You know, how does this, you know, not only does it look amazing, perhaps sort of walk through, you know, how you've selected this, as you said, to have the right materials.
Yeah.
But then how does this help the poor buyer down on level 13 or 14?
No problem. This is going to really annoy you. There's something called a Janka rating, okay? Not Jenga, Janka, right? So Janka rating is really a rating of hardness. Now on your timber floor, it was a natural product and it had a low Janka rating, meaning when you decided to tap dance in those high heels of yours, of course it would be impacted.
Well, I did invite Bruce Jenner over.
Yes, that's right. So this is effectively, I mean, it looks like a different color, but the reality is this is exactly the same floor as we put in every apartment in this building. It is an engineered floorboard. Now, not all engineered floorboards are the same. So if you go to your local Harvey Norman, you pick the virtually cheapest one, it will have a very, very thin top and you won't be able to recoat it. And it has a low Janka rating. What we've selected here is a product that is very easy to fix in the case of, you know, dents or whatever it might be. But more importantly, it's got an amazing coating on it. It's easy to wash and the color looks fantastic. And as I said, this is simply just a different color to what you'll see in the rest of the apartments.
Okay. Now tell me, because I thought you just whacked the floorboards down. There's a bit of a process behind it so that you don't sort of feel like you're on the Titanic sinking.
Yeah.
You know, is that something you do just here, or, you know, how do you get this nice level feeling? And is that something that's just implied here, or is that across the whole building?
No, so as you know, I gave a bit of a demonstration last week about post-tensioning. A beautiful thing about post-tension, get thin slabs. The bad thing about it is they're not always flat. So what we do when we do these types of apartments, we don't just come and start laying floors. There's actually a crew with a structural contractor that sets up their laser and they go and put little marks on the floor and these little packers, and they literally pour floor leveler. And this particular apartment, there was pallets of floor level. I mean, literally bag by bag, pallet by pallet. They went and leveled the floor.
Sounds expensive, buddy.
It was very expensive. I think it was in the order of about 20 grand for these two apartments. Once they level it, they can put down the floor. So you don't get these hollows, right? And don't forget, when you lay these floors, you have to be concerned about acoustics, right? Back to your tap dancing with the high heels. We don't want people to hear you downstairs, yeah? So these are all actually got effectively acoustic glue that helps make sure that you don't get transmission of sound through the slab. And the only way to get that to work is have a nice flat surface. This approach is exactly what we did for every other apartment in the building. So there is no difference whatsoever.